popular video we've ever uploaded was the initial impressions of the Anevay Frontier Stove, which we made I think probably the first weekend we bought it. We've had it for 2 years now, so this is a proper review. First of all, we keep it in this really useful box. It's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but we pack a few other things in with it, including an axe to chop some wood, a tin which we keep firelighters, there's even a frying pan and some newspapers. But otherwise it fits in quite snugly to this box. Probably the most ingenious thing about it is that the chimney packs up inside it. There's no way of doing this and staying clean. Okay, those are all the pieces. Right, so first of all, the legs, which just tuck up underneath, and they're secured in with these little metal pegs. Right. First one. I always forget how you know which is the first one.
Where's the first one? No. The one you got in your hand.
This is the first one. Right, so just one thing to note is that we have an extra piece which is available separately. It's this bit on top, which is called the spark arrestor, and it's just a little cage that stops debris from floating out the top of the chimney. So kindling, I think, is quite expensive, so pine cones work just as well. So there's probably a dozen pine cones in there and 3 firelighters, and then some logs to get us started. So it can be quite a good idea to leave the door open just while it gets going, just because the air going through helps start the fire. Afterwards though, you can shut the door, or it's got a couple of catches, so you can leave it just slightly open, so a little bit of air is getting in but no smoke's coming out. One of the main advantages to this over having a normal campfire is that you get the heat without the smoke. The smoke's all coming out the chimney. And we're not going to go to bed tonight smelling of smoke like all the other people who have just rented a fire pit. So as well as keeping you warm, you can cook on it. It's big enough for, this is quite a large saucepan, got a kettle as well, something that we like to do actually is just keep a kettle boiling, because then when it gets colder later we can have hot water bottles. But if you wanted to have 2 pans going, you could do, and then you're not reliant on electric hookup or going through gas. You can cook on this all night if you want. So if you want to boil a stew for a few hours, it's ideal. I'm happy that the Frontier stove is sturdy enough to be left overnight. I just close the door fully and leave it until the morning, when it's cold and can be easily emptied of ash. As I mentioned, I've had this stove for 2 years. The top has rusted slightly, as I've not cared for it in the manner recommended. Anevay suggests using rapeseed or vegetable oil to season the stove as you would a cast iron frying pan before storage. If you're staying on a campsite, it's worth checking their rules. Some might prohibit open fires and still class an enclosed log burning stove as open. It's a constant source of frustration, actually, that a sturdy and safe, fully enclosed stove such as this isn't allowed on the same campsite that's happy to let people use flimsy, disposable tinfoil barbecues. I enjoy camping trips so much more with the Frontier stove. Camping feels more authentic when you've got a fire, and this is a safe and easy solution to a campfire. You can stretch your evenings outside until later, cooking your dinner, watching the stars, and keeping warm until you're ready for bed.